So if this goes catastrophically wrong, I suppose the lift could break and then the Model T will roll downhill where the lift broke and crash into the pickup truck. And I can destroy a lift, an engine, and 2 vehicles in one go. So let's just watch this happen. Now we got an engine in the yard. Adventure time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's an early, gloomy morning if you look that way, but blue skies are coming, hopefully. We are on our way to buy another cheap motor off the internet. Will we get lucky with it? I hope so. Price is right. Now, I've bought many a junk motor off of Craigslist or the internet at large, but this is the first time I'm actually headed to a car dealership who pulled this motor, which is weird. Literally in the service bay at the dealership, and we're about to get out. All right. Dudes, I don't even know what to say here. So there it is. We'll take a close look at it, but the short version for right now is they put a new motor in an 84K5. That's the motor that came out of it. The mechanic that was doing the motor swap said that thing ran great. All right, we got a motor. It's in the back, but we happen to be passing by my favorite purveyor of tools, Harbor Freight. Remember that time that I exploded the winch on the lift, pulling the van? Yeah, me too. My wallet's about to remember it real good. Wasn't expensive, but 90 bucks is 90 bucks, you know what I'm saying? So it was super useful. The winch was not the problem. I was the problem. Are you impressed? I'm impressed. That's the only extra thing we bought. Like, going into Harbor Freight and leaving with just the thing that you wanted, that takes some restraint. We're gonna fix old Mr. Explodey over here, just because, well, I pulled it out of the truck, it needs to get done, and I'm avoiding my least favorite part of buying an engine. Getting it out of the truck and figuring out where the hell to put it. And yeah, this is the exact same one because I was happy with how it performed. Gives me spare little control boxes for when I break one. And they did offer me, for $20, a 2-year warranty. And my little shoulder devil came out and said, hey pal, you could spend 20 American dollars, drive home, replace this thing. The next time you're at Harbor Freight, you just return the busted one, keep the new one, and then you'll have a spare. And then I thought, hey, Shoulder Angel, where are you? Asleep at the wheel, old Shoulder Angel didn't show up. But I still knew better. I said, man, that ain't right. You broke it fair and square. Presto changeo. It's like we never even broke the last one or spend 90 American dollars to, you know, undo what we had done. Let's take this moment and check in with the dog. This next tune is called Old Cars and Mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know, we haven't even talked about this thing yet. There's a lot to say about it. We'll get there, just hang in there. Hang in there. Wait, no, I don't need to close that yet. It is on a pallet, and they forklifted it in here, which I don't have a forklift, but that'd be cool if I did. Anyone want to donate a Bobcat to this program? Oh, are we gonna crash? No, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? Like, what if we back this thing in here enough and then, you know, strapped it onto our lift? Could we lift it with that? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. So, I don't know. I'm down to try it. How dumb is that? Not gonna lie to you, I took a moment, grabbed out my old pocket computer, and tried to see how many other Bubbas had done this on YouTube and if they'd had any success. And I may be the first Bubbaist to, you know, use the bottom of the 4-post lift as an engine hoist.
That's not on the internet.
That'll work, he said, feigning confidence. Welcome to the dumb or brilliant portion of the Between the Sharks program. Lifts all the way up, so we gotta bring her down without smashing the distributor. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Oh! Well, we got her all chained up, so I gotta loosen this, but this is interesting. We'll get into what the motor is, but if any of you guys know what this magical extra exhaust, it's not an exhaust manifold bolt hole, there's another, that's the one for the exhaust manifold, so what is this? It's the engine lifter upper spot right now, but we'll, you know, what's it for, like, in real life? I know it'd be helpful to know what the engine is, but stay tuned, we're getting there. The more brilliant! Going up in 3, 2, 1. I should show you what this is. We should take a closer look at this rig first. So we got a chain around this motor that's sitting in a pallet around 2 pieces of tubing. One is from the VersaTube and one is from this Carolina carport. And that chain is what I use to chain up my bicycle. So this is clearly going to work just fine. So if this goes catastrophically wrong, I suppose the lift could break and then the Model T will roll downhill where the lift broke and crash into the pickup truck. And I can destroy a lift, an engine, and 2 vehicles in one go. So let's just watch this happen. Going up in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, okay. What's happened there? Oh, I'm an idiot is what happened there. Complete idiot. Let's go back down. Chain's gotta be tight, gang. Can't have a loosey-goosey chain. And apparently I'm lifting the thingies with my distributor now. Alright, round 2. Going up. 3, 2, 1, lift off. Whoa. 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 Alright, well. Okay, so it worked, mostly. Gotta vamoose this truck, so let's do that. If you fellers are starting to think I may have begun this endeavor without a plan, well then, you might just have seen this channel before. This is improvisational, and it's not gonna work as I hoped, but we're still gonna try it anyway. I can basically get 2 screws into some into actual wood, and we're gonna assume that's gonna be good enough. It's not gonna be, but we're gonna assume that it's gonna be good enough.
Well, I can see the future right now.
Yeah, you can tell it's working when it splits right in 2 like that. Here we go. Sure, that'll work great till we put a motor on it. Bring her down. Why don't you go here? Working? Anybody tell? And those tires went instantly flat looking. You know, that may be the weakest link, but this contraption worked. She'll fly, but will she roll? Anybody know? Anybody know? We're just gonna break these screws off and drop this engine. That's probably the truth.
See you in the future.
All right. I did want to roll that thing over gravel and get it out of here. And I don't see that happening, fellers, do you? And now for the moment two of you have been waiting for. What the hell is it? It's a small block Chevy. Well, you can see that. For those of you that are eagle eye, you've noticed the valve covers have the valve cover bolts on the outside, which means it's early, but it has the dipstick on the passenger side, so that says it's late early. So late last night, perusing the internet like you do, this thing pops up. There's like two pictures. This kind of view is one, and the other one was something completely useless like that. But that was enough for me to be interested. Yeah, I know it says 305. And some of you guys out there are gonna say, hey, there is no replacement for displacement.
No replacement for displacement.
And I say, au contraire, there is if the price is right. This was listed for 400 American dollars. This tells me it is a General Motors crate engine. Now the ad indicated that it was out of a K5 Blazer, so a guy can put together, if it's a 305, if it's this side dipstick, but these valve covers, it's probably early to mid 80s, like 81 to 86-ish. So I says to the fella, hey, how many miles do you think are on it? And he says, 150K. And I said, okay. By my calculations, that already seems like too much for a replacement motor in a K5, whatever. It just felt not quite right. I said, well, all right, that's more, that's more than I expected. So I'm not as interested. So the fella says to me, well, make me an offer and I'll make you a deal because it has got to go. And I said, all right. I looked at it. It's got a carburetor with it. We haven't even looked at it yet. It's complete, carb to pan, all the accessories, all the brackets, GM rebuilt 305 at some point, like a remanufactured GM rebuilt. I said, I'll give you 200 bucks for it. And I got a truck. And he says, come and get it. Okay. Plot twist. He says, this is at a dealership, like a genuine large dealership, not a used car dealership, but in fact a new car dealership. I said, okay. So I drove over there and there was the Blazer. Up on the lift, this thing was sitting next to it. The mechanic wanders over to look at my truck, I guess. And he says, man, that thing runs great. I said, yeah? And he goes, yeah. He said the customer wanted us to just put new seals and gaskets in it, and we were gonna take it out and put new gaskets and everything and put it back in, because clearly it's leaking oil from damn near everywhere. And so the owner says, well, if you're gonna do that, just go ahead and put a 350 in it.
Ain't gonna be no Hemi.
It was the sales weasel, service writer, that listed this on the internet for sale on behalf of the customer, not the mechanic. But let's dive into exactly what we think we got for $200. Just at first glance, what we have here is a small block Chevy. Sure, it's a 305. That's fine. That's fine. It's got an alternator, the brackets, the water pump. It even has the smog pump. It has a Summit intake. In here we've got the power steering pump, this fancy chrome air cleaner thing. I think that's the bracket for the power steering. This looks like a cruise control module that customer's probably gonna wish he still had. And then this carburetor, let's see what this is, because I haven't even looked. So what we have here appears to be a Summit brand knockoff Holly with an electric choke. That's what it seems like it is to me. That's fine. That's not nothing for 200 American. I love these things. These are surprisingly expensive too. It's the water neck with the temperature doodad in it. Now a temperature doodad can go here, and there is a spot for a temperature doodad in one of the heads, but these auxiliary water necks are super helpful just in case, if you want to run like your original gauge and a mechanical gauge, just to really check stuff out when you first get a new engine going. It's just a good thing to have on the shelf. Let's see if we can find some numbers on this thing. Not certain on this, but this quick Google gave me 100466164 5.0 LG. Coming back as an 86 GM made remanufactured block for 4-barrel carbureted setup. One piece rear main seal. So it's kind of, I think that's the very last year of the valve covers that have the edge bolts instead of the center bolts. Does that mean anything to me? Yeah, actually it does, because that means I can run any kind of valve covers that I want. I can jam on, you know, these finned aluminum Corvette valve covers would fit on that block. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think about it. I feel like $200 is a screaming deal for this. Not only because the accessories total way more than that, and I'm running multiple small block Chevys that all have these accessories that could wear out, but also based on what the man said, I've had a ton of luck with used motors, a lot more luck than I've had with rebuilds, because the rebuilt motors I've had done have not been great, and rebuilding motors myself I'm not that good at yet. I'm still well into the learning curve. I'm not like, you know, I'm learning slowly, but it's interesting. But it's gonna be a while before I can effectively and efficiently tear down a motor and give it a quick rebuild and put it in a car and have any kind of confidence. So to me, this thing represents cheap insurance, basically. It was $200. I didn't need it, but I jumped on it because it was right there and the price was right. Which means if the inline six goes belly up in the truck, well, can jam this motor in there and be back on the road, you know, after a long weekend. If the new motor in the van goes belly up, we can jam this 305 in there, because I'll tell you what, the tired 305 that was in there got me across the country. There's a 350 in it now, which is great, but the 305 did everything I needed it to do. We just gotta find a place to stash it, because here is not good. Should we try to get it across the yard? We probably should. Now we got an engine in the yard. It might have fallen off its thingamadoodle. Okay.
Well, I saw that coming.
Good thing is, I don't think we damaged anything too terribly bad, but it's now sitting in the middle of the yard. Well, it used to be in there. All right, we'll figure it out. It's gonna be great. Dang it. The worst part of it is I thought I was filming when that went arse over tea kettle. We got a 600-pound engine in the yard. It needs to go somewhere else. Probably over there. Got a feeling we'll be using our brand new winch in just a moment. Yeah, okay. We can do this. We can figure this out, I think. Guys, I felt so smart when I used the lift to pick the engine up, and now, now I gotta use this thing out in the yard. Oh man, oh man, oh man. All right, I did consider entirely the fact that the Batmobile might lose a wheel, but I did not think the Joker was going to get away. The Joker being the engine, the Batmobile being that crappy pallet. In my mind, I had strapped the engine to the pallet in case of just such an event. In reality, I had done no such thing. So now, we're gonna lift it back up, put it back on the pallet. Oh, we did lose a spark plug. I didn't think we'd even broken a spark plug. We did lose one. Did we bend anything else? Did we screw anything else up? I think we're all right. I think we got out really lucky, except for having the engine sitting in the yard. So I think what I'm gonna try to do now, as dumb as this is put the engine back on the pallet and then use it as some kind of a sled, towing it with the winch back into the garage where we can move it around with this. All right, well, that's a start. Man, this was just going so damn well, wasn't it? Ugh. She's buckled in this time. We got some skis. We got a thingamajigger. We just need to span that gap. How dumb is this? Pretty dumb. Just gotta keep moving our skis. It's not the dumbest thing I've ever done. It's on the list, but it's not the dumbest. Gang, we're back basically where we started an hour ago. I will say that winch just paid for itself, like right now. The fortuitousness of stopping at Harbor Freight on the way back into town, on the way back from buying that motor and installing it first thing so it was ready to go when I screwed up. It was like the fates were looking out for me. They knew I was going to do something very dumb. And everything was in order for me to patch it back up. Engine's fine, one spark plug is down. This guy's a little loose. We're gonna move it by traditional means over to our wall of spare engines and everything is gonna be A-okay. Oh boy. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time on Between the Sharks. Good luck on your projects out there. Yeah, good luck. Well, good luck.